Hi, I'm Carly McAvoy. I'm talking about comparing decimal numbers today. When comparing decimals, think of money when you can, because that's something we deal with a lot and would make sense. So would you rather make $12.76 an hour or $12.84 per hour? And hopefully you'd rather make the $12.84, which is more per hour. If the whole number parts of the decimals you are comparing are different, then you don't have to worry about the decimal parts at all. You just have to compare the whole number part. So in the first example, I have 17 and 957 thousandths and 22 and 999 thousandths. But it doesn't matter about the decimal part because we already know 22 is greater than 17. So I know the answer here, 22.999, is greater, regardless of what else I see. Over here, I have 2.2 and 9,999 10,000ths. That's a lot. It's a big decimal thing there. And over here, we just have 1. But it doesn't matter because 14 is greater than 2. I don't need to look any further than the whole number there to know that 14.1 is greater than the other one. Is greater. All right, so just look at the whole numbers when you can. That's the easiest thing. But of course, the part that we're actually trying to do here is compare decimal numbers, and that is when your whole number is the same, then of course you have to look at the decimals. So if the number of decimal places are the same, ignore the whole number and think of the decimal part as a whole number. So in the first case, I have 12 and 54 hundredths and 12 and 55 hundredths. The 12s are the same, so that doesn't help me. But I can think of 54 and 55. Just think of those as whole numbers. Which one is greater? Well, the 55 is greater. That means that 12 and 55 hundredths is the greater number. Here I have 20 for my whole number part, so that doesn't help me again. But I have 239 and 199 as my decimal parts. And I definitely know that 239 is greater than 199, so that 20 and 239 thousandths is the greater number. And finally over here, my 34s are the same, so I am looking at the decimal parts, 6909 and 6956. So this is 6,909, this is 6,956. Well, 6,956 is greater than 6,909. So that means that this is the greater number. That's what's happening when the number of decimal places are the same. It's not too hard. Just think of it as whole numbers and compare. The probably more complicated one is when the number of decimal places are different. So you're looking at something like 8 and 9 tenths and 8 and 857 thousandths. Notice that the whole number parts are the same. This is when we have to look at decimals. So what I suggest is we add zeros to make those things the same. I'm going to drop the 8s because that's not going to help me here. They're both the same. This second number has 3 decimal places, so I'm going to write 2 zeros onto 9 and then the 857. Now I have 2 numbers that have the same number of places, and I can easily see that 900 is greater than 857, so 8.9 is the greater number. I'm just bolding the greater number here rather than typing that out. Okay, here we have 4 decimal places compared to 2. The 9 whole number is the same, so that doesn't help us. So I'm going to write 56, add 2 zeros, and then 5579. So I have 5,600 and 5,579. 5,600 is actually greater than that, so that's the greater number, is the one that I folded. Here I have 3 numbers. This one has 2 decimal places, this has 3, and this has 4. All of them have the same whole number, 6. So I need to rewrite those with 4 decimal places, 7,500 and 7,530 and 7,499. Once I have those written with the same number of decimal places, it's easy to see the greatest number that I have is 7,530. Therefore, 6 and 753 thousandths is the greatest number in that set. What if you have a repeating number? Remember, a 0.6 with a bar above it means you're repeating 6666666. We don't want to round that, we just want to write it out so that it matches the next one in number of places. So we have 18s that match. So the first one we can write 6, 6 and 6, 7. So repeating 6 means 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Yes, we would have to round it if we wanted to, but if I just want to write numbers out, I'm not going to round. And therefore, I can see that 18 and 6.67 is slightly greater than the other number. And one more decimal to look at. We have 3 places here, so I'm going to say 329. And my 0.3 repeating, I'm going to say 333. And my 4, I'm going to say 400. Notice when I have a repeating number, I'm not adding zeros. I'm repeating that out because that's what that line above it means. So I have 400, 333, and 329. 400 is the greater number, so 15.4 is the greater decimal number there. All right, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time.